Today we're making a buffalo chicken spread, a smoked tuna spread, a honey mustard ham spread, and some hummus that can be spread also. And all of this will come together to produce our Pantry Pate Party Platter. Say that 4 times real fast and see if you can avoid popping your peas. The Pantry Pate Party Platter. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cooking with Terror. This is a special episode for all of you who are at home, don't normally cook, and maybe the fact that you're home and can't get out is going to inspire you to cook, but you don't want to take on anything too challenging. So we're going to make our pâtés. Now, I'm not talking about anything involving liver. For those of you that are upset about eating liver, we're going to work with canned chicken, which I think many of you are hoarding because the shelves are empty of it. We'll work with some canned tuna, and we'll work with a can of garbanzo beans or chickpeas. And so with those canned goods, we're going to make some wonderful stuff to eat. It's very easy. There's almost no cooking involved, but there's lots and lots of flavors you can create, lots of ways you can go, lots of flavor palettes you can go with. And if you watched any of the previous shows, you know that we focus on 3 things. We focus on techniques, ingredients, and tools. And so the tool that I'm going to be using today is a Cuisinart Mini Prep. It's like a little food processor. It is a little food processor. And what it will do is grind up anything that you put in there. And by virtue of how long you run it, it'll go anywhere from a very coarse chop to a very smooth paste. We're going to be working with ingredients that are the proteins. In this case, we're going to work with some ham, some canned chicken. So what I did was I bought an entire ham and I whacked it into 1-pound pieces, froze all but 1 pound of it. And then as we consume it, I just bring another pound out of the freezer. And then we bought some canned chicken and some canned tuna and some canned beans. And so those are the base. And then working with that as a base, we can add any kind of flavor we want. So there's lots and lots of different flavor palettes, and I'll share a bunch of those with you after we prepare the 3 that I'm going to prepare right now. So we'll start with the ham. And what I'm going to do with the ham is chop it up, saute it in a little bit of butter, and then we'll work with the mini prep. Okay, so let me chop up some ham. Could be a better way of doing this. Okay, so step one, we're just going to pulse this down. Take a look at that, see. Okay, it's kind of finely minced meat. I'm going to add a little bit of honey. Maybe about a teaspoon. And some Dijon mustard. That is delicious, but it's a little too dry. Add a little bit of mayonnaise.
About pickle juice.
Need something to make it a little creamier. Oh, that is good. Real good. Really, really good. Okay, so we've served this one with some pretzels, crisps. Probably a nice slice of dill pickle on the side. And the combination, you got the crunchy, kind of briny taste from the pickle. You got the real nice snap of the pretzel. And then you get the creamy spread with the honey and the mustard. And it all works well together. Okay, so this one is probably the easiest. I just opened up a can of tuna and I'm putting it in here. This is albacore wild tuna. Sustainably harvested by Wild Planet. Come on. It's still putting up a fight. It's that fresh. Okay, so the key to all of these is we're taking whatever the base ingredient is, in this case tuna, we're pulsing it until it is chopped fairly fine. And then we're adding some flavor and some texture. So in this case, the flavor is coming from some liquid smoke. And I don't have exact proportions for this because I really need to, on each occasion, taste it and make adjustments. So the trick is don't put in too much to start with. Put in a little bit, taste it. If you need a little bit more, add a little bit more. So this liquid smoke varies in my experience and how strong it is. That's quite a bit. And then something that adds a nice umami kind of flavor is the Worcestershire. I just find that it just kicks this up a notch. And it doesn't take much. few drops. And then to smooth it out a little bit, some more mayonnaise. And that's maybe a tablespoon and a half, and then we'll see how that looks. Very creamy. That's good, just like that. Okay, that's excellent. That would be good with crackers, good with celery, good with lots of things. Okay, for this one we're using canned chicken breast. I've opened the can and completely drained it. I find this stuff about as tasteless and has about the same texture as cardboard, so this is what got me inspired to start adding flavor. So once again, we start with the base ingredients, try to hit the target, which I'm not doing that well today. Yeah, tastes like cardboard. Okay, so same pattern here. I'm gonna buzz this down to a little bit. Now, if you like buffalo chicken wings, you might like this one. So I've got a little crystal hot sauce. And some agave syrup. A little bit of sweetness along with the heat. Really nice. Oop. Let me see how that looks. Taste that to see where we are with the heat. Need a little more hot sauce. And then to smooth it out a little bit, I'm adding some cream cheese. I don't know what you would call that, a couple of tablespoons. Believe it or not, needs a little more heat. Okay, nice smooth consistency. I'm running out of tasting spoons. Oh, that's good. Now this, served with some blue cheese dressing and some chunks of celery. You've got the flavor of the buffalo wings, you got the flavor of the blue cheese dressing, and then the crunch from the celery. I think that's the way to go. Okay, what I have here are some chickpeas that I cooked for another meal that have onions and garlic and cumin seed and some red hot pepper flakes and a little bit of olive oil included. Now you could just as easily open up a can of chickpeas and go straight from the can into this, and that would be delicious too. This is just different, and I happen to have them on hand. Don't want to waste anything. Okay, with all the other base ingredients. It's going to take some moisture to get this working. I'm going to add a little bit of tahini, which is a sesame paste you can buy, I think, in most grocery stores now. It used to be Asian grocery stores only. I'm going to add about a good tablespoon of that. It adds nice flavor and has nice nutritional properties as well. Incorporate that and see. So these beans tend to have kind of an earthy flavor, and what brightens that up is a little bit of lemon juice. So I'm going to squeeze some lemon juice in there. Again, the proportions you're going to have to judge for yourself how thick or how thin you want this to come out. A little bit of olive oil, just good extra virgin olive oil. Now the beans were seasoned when I cooked them. If you're going straight from the can after rinsing them, and I would encourage you to rinse them before using them, then you might want to add some salt. Wow, that's interesting. Very, I feel like I just landed somewhere on the Mediterranean and I'm having an appetizer there. Wow, a lot of flavor. The cumin seed does kick it up quite a bit, and the onion and garlic does as well. So this is at in a different place than standard hummus, for example, because of that. But again, going the standard route with just the tahini and some lemon, some olive oil, a little bit of salt, and just plain chickpeas out of the can would be fine as well. I'm going to puree this a little bit smoother. It's got some little chunks in there which I actually do like. I'm not going to get it completely smooth. That's it. Okay, so you may have been a little worried earlier about my pan and what I did to it when I was doing the ham. You'll notice it's nice and shiny and clean, and I do a lot of dishwashing. I'm not the kind of person that just throws these things in the sink. I washed this with just a sponge and hot water. It came out perfectly clean, so it really didn't hurt it at all. Okay. Okay, here we have the pretzel thins with a little bit of Swiss cheese and a dab of that honey mustard ham with a slice of pickle. And boy, was that good. There's the hummus on little squares of lavash, some Greek olives, and some crudités. That was also delicious. And these things really went together well. We had a little bit of each. Here you have a chunk of celery with some of the buffalo chicken and a piece of gorgonzola cheese. I didn't have blue cheese dip, but we had some Italian blue cheese, and the gorgonzola was perfect accompaniment. Here we have some of the smoked tuna with a slice of pickle on a cracker with some more sliced peppers, and that also was delicious. We tried to decide on which one of these we liked the best. All right, so here was the base ingredients: the chicken breast, the tuna, the garbanzo beans or chickpeas, and that hunk of ham that I cut off, a large ham. And then we have flavor profiles. Here's a possible Mexican flavor profile. You could use chipotles, you could use salsas, you could use spicy tomatoes, you could use all of the Mexican spices. Here's a possible Asian palette. Look at the curry pastes that you could buy in the Asian grocery store. A little soy sauce, things like coconut cream or peanut butter. I was thinking of doing something like a chicken satay spread. Here you could go Greek with some yogurt and lemon and Kalamata olives, or you could use some mint and some cucumber. Lots of ways to go there. Here's just some flavors that we had in the pantry. Things you can get at Trader Joe's, like the everything but the bagel sesame. And you saw the liquid smoke and the Worcestershire sauce that we used. But if you wanted to add some umami, that mushroom powder is great. It's always good to have some crunch. So things like sesame seeds or pumpkin seeds or peanuts are great. You just put those in at the end and pulse a little bit. And of course, some crudités. Get some vegetables into this meal with some pepper slices or some anything you happen to have on hand. So the trick here is to experiment on your own. Come up with whatever you happen to have on hand, play with it, gain some experience with it, test, try. This is your chance to be adventurous in the kitchen. So have fun and stay healthy. So the trick here is to experiment on your own. Come up with whatever you happen to have on hand, play with it, gain some experience with it, test, try. This is your chance to be adventurous in the kitchen. So have fun and stay healthy.